I love chocolate, and like way more than a guy should. And when I heard that Woodford Double Oak was doing a collaboration with Compartés, I was like all about it. I actually reached out to them for samples. So yes, this was provided, but let's talk about this. I haven't tried these yet, so hopefully they're good because I'm putting kind of a lot of faith on this. Now, I will just kind of put this out there because the price is going to be a little high. And those of you that buy really nice chocolates will know that they can be very pricey. So keep that in mind. So for example, this and this together is sold as a package, and specifically on Reserve Bar, it's $87 and change. This normally goes for about $60, maybe $55 if you get it in the store. So keep that in mind. We're paying about $30 for 4 chocolates. But let's talk about those chocolates. The first chocolate we're going to try is going to be a butterscotch chocolate, and these are going to obviously pair well together with a bourbon. It's also going to bring out this slight coffee note that the Double Oak has in it as well. Then we're going to try a Pear Nutmeg chocolate. Now this is designed to take some of the fruit notes, the floral notes, and the spice notes out of the Double Oak. Now when I think back on the Double Oak, I remember orange, specifically zest, and then also cinnamon and nutmeg. So I do actually think this is going to be a really good pairing. Then the one I'm probably most looking forward to, which is the Oak Smoked Salted Caramel. Now this is going to really highlight the oak flavor in the Double Oak, which obviously it's in the name. This is what they're going for. This one should be fantastic, or possibly like the one that breaks it for me. Then we're going to go with a maple pecan chocolate. This is going to potentially be the point where I'm starting to get a little fatigue in my palate, so maybe I'll take a little break. But either way, I'm thinking that it's going to highlight the oak once again. And I'm interested, I think probably the most I'm interested in the various different ways it's promising to highlight the oak, which makes sense. It's Double Oak. It's going to be all about oak, right? So let's go ahead and give these all a shot. I need to cut these things because no man in his right mind is going to deny his wife a chance to try these. Butterscotch is a fairly easy one to pick out here. Other than the oak, it's probably the most prevalent flavor. However, it does mostly sit on the aftertaste. So let's go ahead and try the chocolate and see what it does. It tastes like heavy cocoa with a finish of coffee beans, almost like a chocolate covered espresso bean. And that's pretty awesome. I do love chocolate, so I'm probably going to nerd out more about the chocolates than the whiskey at this point, but that doesn't matter. So let's have a sip afterwards and see if they do kind of go together. Now this is a pairing done by somebody who knows what they're doing. Wow, that's really cool. I don't do pairings a whole lot. I don't know that I've ever actually done one on this channel, but where this is cool is when you have a really heavy cocoa chocolate, you taste things in the aftertaste, or possibly even as you're breathing in and out. You get the same, I'm sorry, it's delicious. You get that same flavor like on your tongue when you breathe air over it that you do with whiskey when you have a really good chocolate. And with both the chocolate and the whiskey doing that to my tongue at the same time, that's a wild flavor. The espresso beans are definitely the main player here on the taste, but I didn't get that at first. It was less so the butterscotch and more so the coffee. Very cool. The Pear Nutmeg is one I'm a little bit unsure about because it's meant to complement the flavors rather than accentuate them like the last chocolate did. So in this case, it's looking to complement the cedar and dark raisin flavors of the whiskey here. Now, dark raisin is definitely, I mean, I wouldn't say dark raisin, but like a raisin flavor is definitely something that you get here. Cedar is something I would really have to stretch myself to taste. I see what they're talking about, and so that's cool because I can identify that one point. I would never call that cedar, but I know what they're saying. It tastes the way that cedar kind of smells a little bit, and then a little bit more toasted than that. Anyway, let's go ahead and try the Pear Nutmeg chocolate. There's like a little thing in it. That's cool. That must be pear. Huh. All right, cheers. There is this little chunk of pear, and it's like a candied pear, which to me, it tasted good, but it was a weird texture to have inside of this chocolate. And I thought that was a little strange. Like, I'm not a chocolate reviewer, so whatever, take what I say with a grain of salt. But as just a consumer or a person trying these, it was a little weird. It still stuck to my teeth. And it didn't offer a ton of pear flavor. However, when I drank the whiskey, I also don't know that this matched what they were trying to do. I felt like this one was easily overtaken or overshadowed by the flavor of the whiskey. I'm glad that the butterscotch one was first, because this would have probably let me down had it been the first one. But I also don't taste a ton of fruit in double oak, so maybe people who do would feel differently. This one didn't hit home as much for me, but the chocolate itself was tasty. Next is the oak smoked salt caramel. This one is one that I'm so excited for. I know I already said that, but I'm saying it again because I just love a chocolate covered caramel. It's like one of my favorite kinds of chocolates. Best way to be. I like that even more than peanut butter personally. But anyway, so with this one, what I love about the concept, and I haven't tasted it yet, so whatever, what I love about the promise is that it's trying to accentuate the main flavor in this, which is oak. So it's saying, hey, you taste oak? Let me make it better. So let's see if it does. First, I'm going to have one more sip of this and just taste the double oak. That pepperiness, the deep flavor is just really good. Let's have the chocolate. All right. So it's got a little caramel. This looks like any other caramel that you'd have, except it has like gold flake or something on the top. All right. Yeah, let's try it out. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Of course it has sea salt in it. It should. But it was just so... Oh. I love chocolate. I love chocolate. I probably love chocolate as much as I love whiskey. I just don't have a YouTube channel, so I suppose probably not. But, okay. When I taste this, it is the smoothest, most mild caramel that you could imagine. That is just so much sea salt, mixed with that delicious cocoa powder. And everything about it is perfect. Let me have a sip of this. Oh, this one's the winner. They should have just done a box of all 4 of these. But I get why they didn't. This is every bit as good as I was hoping that it would be. Oh, man, I love it. All right, let me take a minute before I go to the last one. For the last one here, we're going to be going with a maple pecan. Now, this is also designed to highlight the oak in here. However, where the last one was designed to kind of really hit that caramel note and do the salted, smoky, yummy, this one is more supposed to be like a maple note. The pecan, of course, that's fine, but it's supposed to be more like a maple syrup kind of thing going on. All right, let's go ahead and just have another sip, because why not? Woodford's great. Cheers. Woodford Double Oak really is not something I pull off the shelf nearly as much as I should. I really do think this is a good way to highlight what an oaked, like a heavily oaked whiskey tastes like. All right, let's try the last one, the maple pecan. Look at the inside of this. You can see little chunks of pecan in here. That's great. And then it's got like a nougat looking thing. I don't know enough about chocolate to know what I'm talking about, but it looks good. All right, let's go ahead and try it. Cheers. Very maple. That tastes really, really good. And here's why. It's like nothing's going to be better than the caramel one to me, but this one tastes it tastes like luxurious. Does that make sense? Everything from the texture of it, like it's got like these little bit of crispiness that almost as if you were having like a crunch, something with the rice in it, puffed rice. But it's the pecans. So when you bite into it, you taste this maple flavor with the pecans that are adding not only more flavor, but also texture to it. The chocolate's actually taking a backseat here. And then when you have the Woodford to follow it up, everything, rather than complementing it, this one actually, or maybe it would be the right term, this one kind of melds together with it, and the whole thing presents a better, deeper flavor, where it's not just maple anymore. More so, I think the better way to put it is that the maple goes extremely well with the heavy oak, and the two play really well together in giving a deep, rich, even more mapley flavor. Whereas maple is not something I ever really get out of double oak. It's really highlighting some of like brown sugar notes as well. This is a really good one. That one actually, that's my second favorite. So I would say I'm looking at the list here just to make sure I get it right. So the oak smoked salt caramel is definitely my first favorite. Then the maple pecan, then the butterscotch, and the pear nutmeg was my least favorite, but still okay. I would say the pear nutmeg, honestly, I would replace that with something different personally, but the other 3 are a really cool way to experience double oak. I think it's tough to recommend very high-priced chocolates, especially for only 4. But what you're getting here instead is an experience. Like, this was fun to film. Everything's kind of fun. Like, it's fun to drink on camera, but this was like a special treat for me. So I really enjoyed this. If I wanted to, like if I thought about this, this would definitely be something I would consider buying. I'll have a link down below. I don't know if I can do an affiliate link of this or not, but it might be, so just I guess that's a thing. I'll put a link below just so you can easily find it either way. All right, thank you guys for joining me here and giving me a reason to eat chocolate and drink whiskey on camera. So awesome. And thank you, Woodford, for sending these over. I think I might have mentioned at the beginning of the video, but who knows what happens with cuts and all. So they did send me these, but I actually specifically reached out to them to request them. So that's a thing. They didn't come to me, I came to them. All right, thank you all very much for joining me here, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Cheers.